right, so we have Earthbased.soul here with Solarpunk Nomads, and I'll let you explain your grounded vibes for Solarpunk Revolution.
Yep. Okay, so let me explain you first of all how we arrived here, how we arrived to develop the concept of Solarpunk nomadism, and then what we built it in the last 2 years. So it's very important to understand that this is it's a peculiar project because we are a family team. So myself and my co-founder is my son and Marco Bear. And we started to work together about 5 years ago. And we decided to give value, to do climate advocacy. And so for a few years, for 3 years, we did some expedition in Europe to document climate change. And but we use mainly as a social network Instagram. So we built it an audience there, about 50,000 people. And then 2 years, and let's say that during one of these expeditions to document climate change in Europe, we started to think about using an electric vehicle. At that time, the idea was a Cybertruck, and we were just at the beginning of the hype about Cybertruck. And so we started to talk about cyber nomads, not Solarpunk nomads. So that was the initial spark. So imagine to have zero carbon vehicles and going around and helping local community to get ready for climate change. That was the initial spark. And then a couple of years later, we started to focus on Solarpunk because we realized that we were very aligned with the value of Solarpunk. And actually, our project was very aligned. And so we renamed it as Solarpunk Nomadism. And we started to be active into the Web3 space. So we opened a Twitter account and we started to talk about our ideas, our vision. And we immediately had a lot of support and asking around about potential lines of funding, and many people said you have to go to Gitcoin grants. So there we were, there we went, and we presented Solarpunk Nomadism officially in May 2022, so 2 years ago. And straight away we had support. So the first round was legendary because 3 days into the round, a gentleman gave us 3 ETH, like a big donation, and it really helped us to be, enthusiast and to really believe in the project. And we've been successfully fundraising through Gitcoin grants for now 7 rounds. And as I was saying before, we normally end up in the top 10, and for us it's a big result. And still, Gitcoin grants are our main funding source. And thanks to Gitcoin and our support, and the support we have through Gitcoin, we have been able to define better what Solarpunk nomadism is. And we involved many artists in the process of imagining this lifestyle for Solarpunk nomads. And then we completed the vision with another concept that is it's called Solarpunk Safe Place. So imagine a little eco-village where Solarpunk nomad can stop for weeks during their nomadic life. And then after all the theory, and it took us about 6 months to unfold the vision, and then we started to build vehicles. And so about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, we built the first vehicle in India, and it's an electric tuk-tuk. that is used for making workshop, and now will be moved probably to a location on the mountains in southern India to be used to plant trees and to do environmental education in schools. And then after that, we built our second vehicle. It's a bike with a trailer. It's like a van bike, so a bike where you can you bring with you everything you need to live. And we introduced about a year ago, was summer last year, we introduced the concept of Solarpunk Nomads Expedition. And so Marco went from Milan, where I'm based, to Bruxelles. So 1,500 kilometers by bike, with a bike with a trailer, with solar panel and tent and everything you need to live. So we did the first expedition, trying to imagine a different kind of nomadism. So because in our vision, Solarpunk nomads will be defined by this nomadic lifestyle without polluting. So zero carbon lifestyle, but you can do that with a bike, with an electric van powered by solar panel or powered by a wind generator. You can do that on foot or using public transport, or you can use sailboats with electric engine. All these are vehicle and vessel that will be used by Solarpunk nomads. And so our main goal at the beginning is to define this nomadism, this lifestyle, and so we live ourselves this kind of experience. And so we introduced the concept of expedition, and now we are, let's say, in the first 2 years, we work on that, and we introduce also some tools like tools that's called Climate Tracker. So it's a little tool that helps you to understand how climate resilient you are. So it's a self-evaluation tools, but it helps you to understand if you are ready for what is coming or not. And now we have big plans because we, in the next few months, we will build 2 new vehicles, one in Uganda and one in Lima, in Peru. And then we also started our first land-based project here in Italy. So we have acquired a place, a land, where to do some experimentation. For us, is like a research station where we can test Solarpunk tech and also connect with the local community. And the next big project will be to realize the first safe place. For doing that, there are 2 key areas for us in Europe for building safe places, and these are related to the change in climate that are expected. One are the Alps. We did an expedition a year and a half ago for a month in the Western Italian Alps, together with another Web3 organization called WestDAO. And then the second area is Sweden, central Sweden. Marco is actually just now crossing the Baltic Sea, moving to Sweden. And we will have different activities from now till August, because we are looking for the location to build the first safe place. And basically, this is what we're doing. And we've been promoting our vision through mainly through Twitter. And in these 2 years, we also started, parallel projects to Solarpunk Nomads. One is called Solarpunk Guild. So it's a guild of founders in the space that are inspired by Solarpunk, by the Solarpunk vision. We are now about 40 founders there. And one of the projects that we ran with the Solarpunk Guild was called GitCon Radio. So spaces run during GitCon rounds. with all the founders alternating for all the day. And then what else? As a parallel project, I have also a new project. It's called Hyperchange, where we use HyperCert to, let's say, to remunerate new ideas. So it's a new project that want to help funder who has side ideas or ideas in their drawer, as we say, to put it online and to share it and maybe find other people supporting them. And yeah, this is basically what we're doing. So we're being pretty busy, but we are also very happy on how the project unfolded in 2 years.
Yeah, it sounds like you've been really busy. That's amazing. Congratulations on the 7 rounds that have helped propel you.
Yeah, it was tough, and but let's say that project unfolded in without too much drama, and we have now pretty clear ideas on how it can grow. And recently we announced a very important partnership with a company in the United States called Climate Survival Solution that will help us with the tech. And with them, we are now already working on making a handbook about climate change resilience. So this is the second step of our project called Climate Tracker. So with the Climate Tracker, you realize how much resilient you are to climate change. So you self-assess your lifestyle. And with the handbook, we give you all the information you need to, let's say, to modify your lifestyle or to get ready for what is coming. And that's quite important. It will be a very important step. And then final step where a lot of our energy will go in the next 10 years will be in setting up Solarpunk safe places. This is a big thing. Surely will not be enough to have funding from Gitcoin grants. We're already looking for funding from European Union and to involve other people in the process.
Sounds like an exciting journey.
Yeah, it is. Oh, maybe sorry, something that I forgot, but maybe it's good to mention. It's the way we communicate on Twitter, and also a little project that we launched about 6 months ago. It's called Gaia. It's an LLM about Solarpunk information and about also Solarpunk literature, let's say. But something important is how we communicate and how we have successfully built a community around us. So we massively use mid-journey images. And about a year ago, we started to talk about Solarpunk world building. I don't know if you are familiar with world building, but world building is a set of techniques used by a writer. Before writing a book, they start to do this world building exercise, and that helps them to imagine the world where they are setting up the story. And so we launched Solarpunk World Building with the idea of involving as many people as possible in the process of imagining a Solarpunk world. And we started to massively use Midjourney. And last year, I produced something like a couple of thousand images with Midjourney. And it's working pretty well, actually. People are enthusiasts about seeing these images of the Solarpunk future. And it's really helped us to establish a community around us. And so Solarpunk World Building will, it's now, it's maturing. It's becoming a more complex project. And we are also We are just starting, but we plan to have a collection of NFTs on Zora about the best images, but also a series of workshops online and in real life where we do co-create these images of the Solarpunk future. And something that I forgot to mention is that in the last year, we ran 5 workshops in real life about the co-creation of the Solarpunk Nomad vision. And 2 were in India. And then we did 1 in London, 1 in Amsterdam, and 1 in Berlin. So, and we have planned many other, but say during the workshop, there is the co-creation phase. So we ask people to imagine a Solarpunk future, specifically thinking about the concept of nomadism. And they were pretty successful, and we were happy for that. And we had many new ideas, and we saw a lot of people engaged in this idea of becoming nomadic or semi-nomadic. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if any of you has some question or want to know more about some of the things we are doing. I'd be glad to go deep on some of the.
I have a quick question. I have long been fascinated by the punk ethos. Can you say what punk means to you? Like, what does it mean to be a punk?
Well, the punk side of the Solarpunk Nomad is the part that doesn't follow the rules or doesn't expect the government to save us. So it's the part that says it's better we self-organized and maybe, let's say, not following all the rules, being creative. And for example, using Web3 for us is very punk because it's not yet understood or ruled in Europe. So using Web3 funding could be extremely, I say, successful, but also it's a bit risky because there are no norms. Basically, you are somehow you are borderline with the current laws about how to run a company or an organization. So for us, the punk side is to understand that we have to save ourselves, so we cannot expect the government to save us, and we need to be creative on that. And so, and we are doing our best for that.
I think the piece of software that I've been interested in for the longest time is sort of property management software that would let a person who's staying at a location know what tasks need to be done, like the grass needs mowing or this toilet's clogged or whatever, so that they can contribute to the maintenance of the property without so it doesn't take any human intervention. Like, no one has to stay on top of it. The computer can take care of helping people to keep things moving smoothly. I think that could be a really useful piece of software.
Surely. And I was in a call a few hours ago with a lady from United States, I think from Georgia, and we're talking about working on conceptualizing a Solarpunk retrofit of the let's say standard house in the United States. And this will be quite interesting because there is so much to be done, and but it's important to involve people in doing that, and using a Solarpunk approach, not building from zero, but using what we have. So retrofitting, it's definitely in our vibes. And if you can since if you want to make a Solarpunk house, you have to imagine that a house that is probably off grid, self-sufficient from the energy, that is recycling all the water and is recycling all the black water as well. So, and it's producing food and is intelligent. It's adapting to the external environment, and this will also highly increase the climate change resilience of that family. So it will be nice, as you say, having a software. You need a software or an AI that help you to manage all these things, and it will be amazing. And it will come, but of course these are complex problem or challenges, and our approach is also to try to build as much as in public as we can, and involving many people in the process, because it's such a big challenge, this one, that you cannot really work alone. And so if any of you it's interesting to go deep on some of these aspects, I'm more than happy to have a chat, and you can DM me or in Discord or in Instagram, and we'll try always to connect people. And talking about this software, for example, this company is called Climate Survival Solution, that is now our partner for the tech side. They have a project. They have a biodigester that helps you to recycle all the water from your house and reusing it. And also it's, it can be used also to feed a hydroponics system in your house to grow some food.
Yeah, I've been fighting with, I currently go and mow my mom's grass, and just that whole, she's got like an acre of lawn. Then trying to get her to switch to something more native, something, because there's a big push for that currently in permaculture circles to, do away with the lawns and also grow food.
Yeah, loans are terrible. But the potential are incredible, because if you try to imagine to have a house that is designed to be alive and to grow your own food, and we have all the technology. We just need to be creative with it. And we need probably to start doing that and showing other people that it's doable. Retrofitting a house, surely in the process of doing a Solarpunk retrofit, there is a big opportunity in reusing the land. So surely killing the lawn and having some cultivation is the way to go. But you also have to consider that we don't need to become necessarily slave of our house or our cultivation. There are so many techniques that allow you to grow veggies by itself. Look, hydroponics. Hydroponics, if well organized, is extremely efficient in the use of water and nutrients, and doesn't require your input. So yeah, when you plant the salad, but then it goes up by itself, and then after 40 days, you have fresh salad or other plants. So let's say it's exciting because there is so much to do. You need to be punk on that, because the government is not on your side. In Italy, for example, rules are extremely crazy, and you cannot really do things with your house. Even if I have to fit Solarpunk in my roof, probably it will take me a year and a half of long bureaucracy procedures, and it's not really, and I'm not sure that I will be able to do that, because bureaucracy is killing this kind of new ways of doing things. So you need to be punk and do it, find a way to do that the same. So, but yeah, there is so much to do.
Actually, I posted a poll in a Facebook group last week asking, will the revolution ever happen? Will it happen within our lifetimes? And will it be peaceful if it does happen? And most people like it's never going to happen. Like we're just stuck with this system and it's never going to change.
I don't know. As a biologist, I'm afraid that things will change very fast. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but I tell you, the data I'm seeing are crazy, are really crazy. If you want to get the press, go on Twitter, check some of the tweets under the hashtag collapse. And there are some pretty known and respected scientists that are showing the hard data. And so you will see these things in your lifetime, and you are seeing it pretty fast. And the collapse is already happening because we try not to see it, but there are already many places where climate change is crazy and is killing thousands of people, and it's making entire places very uninhabitable or very unpleasant to live it, and it's accelerating. If you look at the data of the temperature of the ocean between 2022 and 2023, and now it's just crazy. Look at the data and get scared. And I'm saying that because for us as a project, it's very important to be pragmatic and to understand that these are not just hypotheses. It will happen, and it's already happening. So if you are not preparing yourself, I don't know. I mean, you have to prepare yourself. Get ready because things are changing, and already into the residential market in many countries, things are changing because the people are starting to ask themselves how things will evolve, and so the value of some of the real estate will go down very fast, and some other houses, some other location will increase the value. But we're going to we are set for a crazy run, for sure, for a crazy run. And as if maybe if you ask yourself why nomadism, is because I'm a biologist. I'm pretty aware that I'm a wildlife biologist specialized in large African mammals. And I've studied migration of animals for a few years of my life. And I know that migration is one of the key survival techniques for species. So if you are able to move when the environment conditions change, then your resilience will increase a lot. And but it's difficult because imagine to have a nomadic life. It's challenging. It's surely not it's not a lifestyle that's available to everyone. But we think that it's very important to target change maker because change maker are the ones that are helping to change the society for good. And so for our project, it's very important to prioritize this sector of population because these are the ones who will help to build the transition, or they will help the transition to a sustainable world. So, yeah, sorry, I don't want to ramble for an hour. So if you have any question, feel free to ask. I think I've scared everybody talking about climate change.
Oh, no worries, not scared at all. Really liking your project. But yeah, I think most of us are pretty much green pilled, and we get it. And the prepping is very important. It's like something I've been a part of MetaGame for a long time, and it's always we're always prepping.
Okay. Sorry, I was just because it's a little bit weird talking about this subject, but I think we think it's important to share that because we are so much in denial, and this is quite human because when we are facing things so big, denial is the first reaction. And it's a reaction also to keep your, your mental health. But we still think that it's important to do that because things are changing pretty fast. And specifically, if you're being green pilled, if you're really trying to build a different society, it's very important that you prepare yourself and you leave the denial phase because things are changing fast. And there are so many things you can do to change and to adapt, either with a residential lifestyle or with a nomadic lifestyle. If you check our climate tracker, is in my highlights in my Twitter page. The climate tracker will help you to analyze your climate change resilience, and it will analyze it both for nomadic lifestyle or residential lifestyle. And we ask hard questions, but asking these hard questions will help you to understand if you are ready or how you can, maybe you can get more ready. And yeah. So we are in a very niche area, let's say, as Solarpunk nomads, but we have a very also clear vision of where we are and what's our role to play. And the good news that any of you can become a Solarpunk nomad, so that's positive.
A very good friend of mine. It's I think he would love this kind of project. He only uses his bike to move around a very big city, and he's a big maximalist of only using his bicycle as a means of transportation. And he's like the big prepper. He loves crafting everything he bought a 3D printer. He has a small shack where he produces everything he needs, not food-wise, but just tooling and technology-wise. So I will show him this. I think he will really, really like it. It's very on his end of things he would really like. Very aligned with him.
Amazing. Yeah, we'll always love to meet new people and to learn and to see if we can collaborate. And again, Solarpunk Nomad is just a change maker inspired by the Solarpunk vision that it's getting ready for a nomadic life. There are, I think, a lot of people will get into it. At least we have a lot of people that are interested. And and there are many ways where you can become a Solarpunk nomad. I want to share something that it's about the expedition, because we are a new project. We have just 2 years of life, but we are now starting to involve many people during the expedition. So on June, in 3 weeks from now, we will do the first collective expedition. And we will do a 10 days mountain trek in the Italian Alps between Italy and Switzerland. And it will be a nice expedition because we have 2 goals. The first one is to test a Solarpunk setup, hiking setup. So very minimalistic. We will use a solar panel to charge our gear. We will cook food with a solar oven, and we'll bring all the food with us with zero plastic. And we'll try to. We are playing with the concept of a Solarpunk and nomadic hiking setup. And then the second goal of this expedition is also interesting because we will for 10 days, we will work collectively to imagine a Solarpunk future for the Italian Alps, for the Alps in general. And in this group, there is a writer, a Solarpunk writer from Colorado. There is a visual artist, a Solarpunk visual artist from South Africa. There are people from Europe. There are a couple from Mexico that were already coming for some meetings in Europe, and they're joining us. But in the future, we will have more and more opportunity to do that. And so keep an eye on what we're doing, because if you are interested maybe to join one of the expedition and to co-create with us, you'll be more than welcome aboard. And also something that I didn't share, that since we are, let's say that our approach is to build vehicles that then can be used by the community. So if you want to use our Solarpunk bike, at the moment one is in Bruxelles, so you can ask us to take it, and from Bruxelles you can go, I don't know, to Barcelona, and you will have it for free. And you just have to coordinate with us. The same with the tuk-tuk in India and with the new vehicles. Now we are building a bamboo bike to be stationed in Uganda. If you want to have an adventure in Uganda and do things there, you will be able to ask us, and we'll be more than glad to let you use it. So the vehicles we are building have they have two goals. So we build it to experiment and to share how this vehicle can be done. And the second goal is to help people to live the life of Solarpunk nomads, to test it. Now we are starting with cheap vehicle because we don't have big budget, but pretty soon we will have solar-powered e-van or sailing boat, and you'll be able to use it to live as a Solarpunk nomad for a while, to learn, and then to maybe to decide that so you want to do this life full time.
Love this. Yeah, I can definitely see this everywhere in Boulder. I live in Colorado, and the city is just so amazingly set up for biking around. So this is incredible.
Yeah, but Boulder is very Solarpunk.
Yes, it definitely embodies the vibe of Solarpunk.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, our friend, it's from not far from Boulder. It's from Colorado. This is a Solarpunk writer. It's called Christopher Muscato. He wrote different Solarpunk novels, and he's joining our expedition. It will be very, very interesting to know him in real life.
Another project I thought would be really neat would be a short-term, like a sitcom or a show of some sort that's set like 5 years in the future and depicts a radically different way of life in some ways, and shows how things could be. And maybe if we could convince people that it's possible, then maybe we can get them to actually be a part of making it happen.
Yeah, this will be extremely cool. And again, I was talking with this lady from Georgia just a few hours ago, and we were vibing on similar ideas, saying how we can retrofit a house and maybe talk about the story of some real people who are doing the retrofit, and calculating everything, the money they save, how they reinvest in new Solarpunk tech. And we have to do these things and share numbers and helping people to get ready and to change their lifestyle. Because once you let's say Solarpunkerize your life, it's you get ready for climate change, for the changes that are coming, but also you are less contributing to these negative effects. Because for us also Solarpunk nomadism is a great way to decrease your ecological impact And if you look at the footprint, the ecological footprint of any nomads, it's very minimal in comparison to normal residential lifestyle. First of all, because you own very little, so you have a minimalistic life, so you pollute much less. Then imagine that if you can be nomads with a zero carbon vehicle. Let me explain what is a zero carbon vehicle. So a bike is a zero carbon vehicle for sure, but if you imagine to be a nomad on a bike is a bit difficult, but you can maybe power up it using an electric bike with a trailer, with a tent, and the trailer can also have a solar panel that power your bike. This is, for example, is a light setup, but also you can imagine to be a van lifer, a Solarpunk van lifer. So using an AV van, they're coming to the market already, and you can power them with renewable energies. So you can basically, there is already some of the technology needed to recharge your van with wind power, with solar panel. I've seen a nice test. It happened 2 years ago, actually, in Australia. There was a team from a university that they did a long, I don't know if it was all, they did a long trip in Australia. So something like 5,000 kilometers. I don't think they crossed it all over, but it was very long. And they did that with the Tesla. And the experiment was powering the Tesla only with energy produced by solar panels. So they brought with them this very special solar panel, printed solar panel in rolls. So when they needed to be recharged, stop the car, open and unroll these long rolls of printed solar panel, recharge the car and go. So, these kind of things, imagine yourself living in a van, maybe, but a van that can recharge itself without polluting and without expenses, actually, after the initial investment. It's famous, if you think about a sailing boat, there are already many people living in a sailing boat. Normally, sailing boats have diesel engine. But now there is a new technology. Some of the sailing boats are already buying it. It's electric engines, and you can charge all your devices, including the engine, with solar panel and wind generator. So in this way, you will have a zero carbon lifestyle, at least for the movement part, and that will be extremely cheap. And yeah, this is the basis of our vision of Solarpunk nomadism. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Reddit for some reason has decided that I should like the subreddit Urban Car Living, which is people who are living out of their cars in cities, and it's interesting. The number of people is growing apparently pretty rapidly. Though a lot of that has less to do with minimalizing lifestyle and more to do with people not being able to afford housing.
Yeah, that's true. And also, well, there are some people who decide to, I don't remember the name of this community, the people who want to go on retirement early. I think it's FIRE or something like that. So there is a movement of people who try to save as much as possible to retire at around 40s or something like that. And they live in little vans or cars, try to save as much money as possible. And well, this will increase because you have to understand that climate change is pretty unpredictable. So it's very difficult to understand how it will hit. There are some general data, but It's basically, scientifically, you are inputting so much energy into the system that the weather pattern will become unpredictable and very strong, very extreme. So the possibility of moving, it's really what increasing your resilience. And so I think many people will choose this lifestyle. And maybe a mixture of it. Not you don't really need to be nomad for 12 months a year. But maybe you move from place to place. And for example, Italy, the northern part is becoming pretty, unpleasant during the summer. We have normally heat wave. It's very wet. So I can imagine myself moving to Scandinavia for 3-4 months a year just to start with. And actually in August this year, I will move to Scandinavia for a while. But you have to see the direction where we are going. And specifically if you are young, you are in your 20 or 30s, you have to realize that things will be different from what it were 50 years ago or whatever. So get ready.
Get ready. Sorry, my internet dropped for a moment there, so I've been absent. So sorry to miss the second part of this.
Yeah, I was just rambling around Solarpunk nomadism, so you didn't miss a lot.
Well, it's important stuff, as you say. The pending doom is upon us. We better be prepared.
Yeah, and we like to, let's say, to brace the doomerism with optimism. So we think that we have something like 50 years very challenging ahead of us. But at the end, we think we will be able to build a beautiful world and really to build a Solarpunk society. And it's the only way out of this mess because we have to be sustainable. There's no other way. So it's better we hurry up with that.
Well, I think that's thank you for sharing. I want to get yeah, that looks cool. Just like you debugging websites live.
Yeah, I'm sending in little bug reports as I find stuff. Like this says 6 beads for training cruises.
Just get in touch with me. The best way is to get in touch through my Twitter account and just DM or my email is
hypersearch.xyz or not hypersearch but hyper.
Hypersearch is one of my projects, so you can write there too. Either Twitter Earthbased.soul or Solarpunk Nomads or Hyperchange. They're all my projects, so you just get in touch. And we are pretty reactive, and we love to build bridges and to collaborate on other projects. So it's not a crisis we solve alone, and so we really have to come together and try to collaborate as much as possible with like-minded minds.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. Do you have any Solarpunk nomads in South America? Our next guest is from Argentina.
We have not yet there. We have friends around. The first project we are doing in Latin America is we are assisting a gentleman from Lima, Peru. He's a new grantee of the climate round, and he's going around the Lima city with a trail bike, tricycle, I think. It's like a rickshaw, let's say. Giving free trees to the local community to help plant more trees into Lima. And we are assisting him, providing a solar panel and a little electric engine for his setup. But we have not yet a more established project. But we love to.